Welcome back, everyone, to the second installment of my show-off videos from my soon-to-be running server, the Pantheon of Eralion. Today we'll be looking at some of the minor temples: the Temple of War, Temple of Life, Temple of Death, and perhaps one of the more esoteric temples like the Temple of Logic over there, or the Temple of Magic that you cannot quite see from here. So today we'll start off with the Temple of Life. Temple of Life banner as seen right here, and this is the portal to the Temple of Life, which is over off further world. Oh, wait, have debug on again. VB debug, the development tool that allows us to know what the portal name is, or go into a portal without going through it. Here we are, the Temple of Life. The Temple of Life is actually more than just the temple itself, but the region around it. Right here is this massive, not so massive as some others, massive temple in the center, dedicated to life, with a vine system to climb inside it, various levels. This is built by my friend Iron Dragon Queen, who will be playing the Goddess of Magic and the Goddess of Chaos, with two different accounts. Oh, it seems to have broken some of the vines here. That'll fix itself, probably. This whole area around it is the Temple of Life, a jungle within weird regular birch forest, with these large trees. What she's going to be doing at some point is filling them with these chains and lanterns, which will be making it far more beautiful. But she hasn't gotten around to finishing that all yet. There's bamboo various places. This was originally just a lake and a forest biome, but we changed the biome using something called World Edit, a very useful tool which we all very much love. Yes. And while I'm here, I'm close enough to the world border that we can show you off something about the world border. Right there, out there is what we call madness. And the world border has a purpose in the lore. The world border is something we call the veil, and these are veil projectors. Veil projectors project this veil to protect the world from madness that lies beyond. The veil projectors go all around the world. I'm not gonna show off that over there yet, but all around the world border, and madness that lies beyond is kind of crazy. Like, this is red, orange, yellow, blue. By the way, that's all wall right there. Literally all wall. Green, blue. Another thing you'll notice is some things like this. There are some strange random things just scattered across the world with no explanation whatsoever. Like that. This thing here. Massive pit. Who knows where. And stuff like this scattered all around the world for players to discover and find meaning for whatever meaning they want to assign to it. Yeah, here's another example of madness area. It's very definitely not looking right. This is like, those who know the Farlands, this is essentially our equivalent of it. It took a lot of time to make it that way, using World Edit, which is a powerful set of tools. Yeah. It's our equivalent of the Farlands, and it has a reason. I might also show off the Temple of Madness today, but, you know what, yeah, let's show off the Temple of Madness. So, what I'm going to do is Ender Pearl. We are going to show you all something. So, Ender Pearl out there, and now we are out here. Go out a ways. Yeah, you're outside the world border, which you will take damage at some point, but there is some place here. Ah, yes. If you go outside the world border, at some point there's a portal that will take you to Madness Space. This is run by essentially someone called Lily, who is no way other to put it than an imaginary person. They're not really real. That essentially my second account, who I call Chaos Lily. Yeah, this is like crazy, really crazy, really crazy. And over here is the Temple of Madness. It's just pure chaos. All sorts of stuff. All sorts of craziness. And right here we're entering the Throne of Madness, which doesn't say anything about it, but the Throne of Madness is a place that... Oh, this isn't the Throne of Madness, is it? I don't know. It's supposed to be the Throne of Madness. Or is it the Throne of Madness is higher up? The Throne of Madness is higher up, I think. Yes, here it is. No. It's hard to find the stupid Throne of Madness, because there's so much crazy stuff going on here. This world is a bit laggy, but that's because we're using as minimum, what's it called, as low of resources as we can while building the server, because it's cheaper. Once we actually have the server running, we'll have a lot more. This is the Throne of Madness. All these banners show it off. Green and purple, the colors of madness. And here is the Cobweb Throne. We have various NPCs giving you quests that say some really crazy stuff. And you do quests, you pull something from the rewards chest, however much you want. There's no real rules, but technically it does say pick only one thing. Not that really anything is useful here. In this world, you have a separate inventory from the rest of the world. It's like you're not really here. Everything about your character is not transferred over to this world. It's completely unique. Here's another person, the Jester. There's a few more people downstairs that are giving quests. You'll see the quest in your, essentially in your chat log. Like you'll see, someone wants, the goddess of the people wants you to put your entire inventory in the reward chest. You get to keep anything that doesn't fit. Yeah, really the goddess of the people, really. She who is insanity wants a brave adventurer to go to reality and kill a member of the Farmers Guild. Do this, and when you return, claim 10 rewards. Yep. The green and purple lady wants you to build a monument to some random food. Build the monument and claim 3 rewards. The lady of the cuckoo clock wants some apples. Put them in her donation chest for a reward. Or, a new law has been made by she who is not. Wool miners must now start replacing wool tunnels. Also, all other laws are now banished. So yeah, occasionally one of the Jester will occasionally shout new laws. Those show out to a huge area of the world. When you hear them, you literally have to obey them. Though the only ones enforcing it are other players. Though technically in this world PvP is enabled anywhere, so really it's really up to other players whether they want to kill you or not. There's nothing stopping them from killing you, and this world is just a world where you can fool around. Most places other than the Throne of Madness is completely buildable, whereas the regular world there's only certain areas you can build in other than the wilds, which you can build literally anywhere in the wilds. There are versions of various temples here, like some old versions of some, like this was parts of an old version of Temple of Justice. It was a nice version, but we sort of wanted it to be different. And this is the new Temple of Justice, which is modified with, if you see, the judge is a creeper with crazy armor. There's a boat on trial. No, wait. The boat is the witness. The person on trial, as it says here, that says defendant stand. The person on trial is, well, that was the old skin for Snippy Chork, who will be playing the God of Logic / God of Justice. Yeah, this is a really crazy world. In this world, you'll have various roles like Wool Miner, Mad Mage, stuff like that. There's all sorts of random portals here. And the only way back to reality once you're here, because this is all just a horrifically mad vision that you're having, is this one place with a beacon right here. This one place has a portal. And you end up in the Sunnydale Lunatic Asylum with the door closed and no way out, except jumping on the bed maybe. And this is a lunatic asylum for those who are mad. Yep, you have successfully gone mad. They found you and brought you back here. This is an asylum that we have. Nice little place. Very sunny indeed. It's literally always raining. Very sunny. With these nice sun banners, making it really feel warm and welcome. You walk in, it just feels like such a warm and welcoming place, not dreary and scary at all. Note the sarcasm in my voice. Oh, and if you do happen to mind this path right out here in the wilds, no, it's made out of infested cobblestone, so yeah, your loss. Okay, now that that's the Temple of Madness and the Temple of, what was it? Life out of the way, let's show off Temple of Death. So, to show off the Temple of Death, we're going to start over down this way. Go down here. This is supposed to be some, restaurant or something Hippie Torque is making. So here is the Stairs of the Dead. Descend unto the land of the dead. This is a path down to the Deathlands, where most people who... The Deathlands are essentially the place where most people who die and don't really have any other afterlife go to. That's the afterlife, that is the catch-all. This crazy thing that took a long time to build. And here is the land of the God of Death. So in the lore, the God of Death has gone missing or died or something like that. And, the Deathlands are now run by the people. This is the Deathlands. The temple, to actually get to the temple, you go at here. This is the Temple of Death. A bridge, that's a portal technically. This is a portal right here. A bridge onto this world. This is news board where people can pay for stuff. Actually not. News board is where you the keepers, the people helping maintain the server, are going to be putting news, or the gods can put news. RP advertising board, pay a keeper for advertising, and vacant job board where gods and other things can put vacant jobs, like new reporters for the Goated Star, newspaper board for the Goated Star, and new Archlich for the Death Claimed. Archlich is the top rank for the Death Claimed, the people who are in the Deathlands. So this is the Temple of Death. It's seen better days. Here's the Throne of Death for essentially the God of Death, who is missing. Here's the thing: people who prove themselves worthy of being gods, like keepers. Keepers are essentially regular players that we recruit into becoming keepers. If they prove they're worthy of becoming a god, we might just make them a god, especially if the server really likes them. If the server really likes them, they're worthy of it, as in they know how to essentially, as in they're responsible, they're good role playing, they're all sorts of things like that. They're well loved by the server. We'll make them a god. Either they'll fill the role of a missing god, essentially. We have to go and find them in the wherever they've been disappeared to, or you know, we just make a new god and they fill the role of a new god. Becoming a god essentially becomes a server administrator, and you can literally do anything. You're all powerful. You're in creative mode whenever you want. You're in survival mode wherever you want. You do anything. You don't lose your inventory on a death. It's just amazing. But most people will not be able to be gods, and we're not going to get people to aim to be gods. Only the people who are great at helping people on the server, the keepers. The keepers keep the server. They make certain the rulers are full and stuff like that. So the Deathlands is going to have more bridges like this right here. But right now we only have the one. The Deathlands is another floating island thing. This is the Basalt Plains, I think. Basalt, something in the new Nether updates, which came out a while ago. It's a very interesting place. I love the look of it, and it's always raining ash, which I love. There's occasionally ghasts, which are interesting. There's most of the monsters are magma cubes here, so unless you do something to anger the magma cubes, you're pretty much safe. Magma cubes aren't all that dangerous, anyways. The gas can be dangerous, but they're kind of rare. The Temple of Death is this, impressive, but not super impressive thing. If you see here, the Death Forges. The Temple of Death and the Deathlands still need a lot of work done before we're ready to start the server. Right now, it's just this and one bridge. We'll be working on that for a while, but this is the current version of it. I really like the look of it's industrial. It feels industrial, and that's what I was going for here. I was the one who worked on this. Feels industrial, and sort of empty, like missing something, which is sort of what we're going for. Like the Deathlands has been abandoned almost. Sure, people are still being sent here by the Arbiters, but there's no one to guide you. You're on your own. Let's go back to that porcelain's effect to point the right way. My brother recently figured out how to do that. I was too lazy to read through the documentation to figure out how to do that. I'm a guy, what can you say? Reading instructions. Who does that? Not men. Just kidding. I like to read instructions. I just don't have time. Okay, so, that was the Temple of Death. Last one for today, since we're not going to show off the Temple of Logic because it's not finished. Technically, that one wasn't finished either, but, yeah. We're not showing off the Temple of Logic yet because we want to give my brother a bit more time to finish it. So, Temple of Death. You come out here to get to it. To the Temple of War, actually. This should be saying the Gate of War, that thing on the text, but we don't have it up to date yet. This was essentially where the Temple War was going to be, but instead we have a gateway to the Warlands. It looks like some sort of alien or some sort of icy rib cage, which is terrifying. And you go in, and you're in the Warlands. The Warlands is an area filled with monsters, always night. And yeah, you get to here. This is Temple of War. In here, you're mostly safe. There's no PvP. One of these boards again that show up over. This is the empty for the God of War. This is the Temple of War, which looks essentially like a fortress. The Temple of War's temple is essentially just a fortress, as it should be. There's a lot of signs of people who left the fort thinking all was lost because their god and their commander was gone, died in a war, lost in a war. Who knows what happened to them in the war? And now they're essentially without a leader. And so many people have just abandoned the place, probably went out and died in a way that they can never come back. Not that it happens in the server, but you know, they probably just died, and the arbiters, they know what to do with them and just sent them back here saying, look, your time's not up here yet, go back to where you belong. And so, you know, they're just crazy out in the world somewhere. There are going to be a few NPCs of people who essentially have left there. They're now things like those, I forget what they're called, the skeletons that wear those special ghostly armor that show up in cold biomes. I can't remember what they're called because I only recently found out about them because they're never in cold biomes. Yeah, there's some of them that look like that, some that look like skeletons, some that look like zombies, a few that will look like people, but yeah, we don't really got that. So this is the Temple of War. A nice place. This place is supposed to be on edge, like, though it's always night, there is a version of night where there's no monsters, and there's a version of night where there are monsters. You just can't tell the difference, because it's always the same time. Because you can't tell the difference, the day-night cycle still happens, it's just you don't see it. So, you don't know when it's about to get dark, so you can be out here, and it's about to be dark, and you will not know it. So, essentially, you'll just, like, suddenly monsters start spawning, and you have to get home safe. Also, I'm pretty certain, let's just check, clock. Yeah, clocks don't work. Clocks do not work. Clocks don't work in this place either. Otherwise, it should be saying it's day right now. So yeah, you literally cannot tell the time here. Stop clicking that button. So yeah, this Temple of War is pretty much a safe area, but it's literally the only safe area. Everywhere else in this Warlands, PvP enabled, and not just PvP, but you know, monsters, all sorts of nasty stuff. Oh, and just like a lot of the afterlives, this place is a floating island. This is specifically floating ice spikes biome. There's not much places where that really matters, but should you dig down deep enough, yeah, it will matter. And you'll go falling into the void. And by void, we mean the void, as in, like, the deep void I showed from last episode. Yeah, that void. Which, by the way, is a legal place to go, so if you go there, technically you committed a crime. It's like, and if someone finds out that wasn't just by if they find out and pin it on you saying it was not by accident, well, then you'll sort of might be damned to the void. It was like, if you want to go to the void, you are sending you to the void. The arbiters have decided you will go to the void lands, and you will essentially become member of the damned. Yeah, that means you have to serve me, the goddess of sin. I'm very nasty. I'm very mean. I'll really make you work for your freedom. Yeah. Okay, so that was everything for today. So there is one more thing I want to show off. This cool little lighthouse right here. The lighthouse normally just flashing that one white color, but we have various things in here. Some lighthouse keeper can do something like red alert, which will make it flash red, or if they want, yellow alert, whatever that means. And last one, blue alert. I don't even think that blue alert is a thing anywhere. I don't know. I'm just doing colors. Red, blue, and yellow. Those primary colors were taught in school that anyone who works on computer art knows is not real primary colors anymore. Yeah, I had a conversation about that the other day. Okay, so that's all for today. Oh, last time I mentioned ritual circles that lead to the void. Here's one of these ritual circles. You go to it and it goes to the void. Highway of Crime caves. Highway of Crime. Oh yeah, that's one last thing. Oh, I almost forgot about the Highway of Crime and the Temple of Crime. So today I'm going to show off one more thing. The Temple of Crime. This is the temple where the criminals hang out. It's easy to access, but you know, not something that is typically seen. Here's the Book of Crime, or the Crime Guild's Guide book. You can get your own copyright from behind it. So there's so many of them. This is the Temple of Crime with the priest of crime, who is supposed to be, you know, saying stuff but isn't for some reason. And then next to it is the Highway of Crime, which is this nice place where the criminals can get around the temple complex without being seen by the guards, with hidden entrances like right there. It's really neat. By the way, these are the banners of the pact. The pact being a pact between the gods that prevents the goddess of sin from messing with the god of justice in exchange for the god of justice not hunting down the followers of the goddess of sin. And while the goddess of chaos remains neutral and does not take sides anymore. Because that was a source of conflict so many times in the past. So many wars were waged, one of the wars literally losing the majority of the gods, that eventually a pact was signed to stop that from happening again. This Highway of Crime is really interesting. There's an exit here that only people from the inside can let people out, or let people in from. Lots of places like right here, an exit to the regular world. I'm not going to show where that is, just so I don't reveal it. But yeah, that's all for today. We're going to talk again later next week. Same time, same place. Have a good day, and that's all for now. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed, please click the subscribe button and the little bell. And if you're really feeling generous, check out my book on the link below the video. Also check out my Patreon, and enjoy. Random boat.